Please welcome NASCAR's Vice President of Integrated Marketing Communications, David Hyden.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you all for joining us today at this great event. We've battled the elements, but the NASCAR industry has proven its resiliency once again. We appreciate your flexibility and your return this afternoon. The NASCAR Hall of Fame is a wonderful show in store for everybody here, so your patience will definitely be paid off. Today's luncheon and the Hall of Fame induction ceremony that follows culminates a thrilling week here in Uptown Charlotte. Over the course of the last 4 days, the industry and media have flocked to the hall to make and break news. It's a week that our honoree today thrived upon. I personally, and many of you remember him sitting at the Fox Sports desk or standing in front of one of the many media backdrops for hours on end, tirelessly gathering content for our news-thirsty fans. And this year, his absence was clearly felt. But with this next reward, his legacy will remain. The Squire Hall Award for NASCAR Media Excellence was created to honor those giants of the media industry who helped tell the story of our great sport, true storytellers. The inaugural winners were iconic broadcasters Ken Squire and Barney Hall. Those who followed as recipients were the great Chris Economaki and Tom Higgins. And today, we officially recognize a man who paired professionalism with a pure love of our sport, a combination that endeared him to millions of NASCAR fans for more than 30 years. As you know, he fought a brave battle with cancer, and we lost him way too soon. But today we honor him and remember him, an esteemed broadcaster, a mentor to many of those here today, and a friend to all of us in the sport of NASCAR. Steve Burns.
This is Dale Earnhardt from Martinsville Speedway with Steve. What's your last name, Steve? Burns.
Steve Burns simply could never learn to do it wrong.
I'm sorry, I didn't like that.
It was that thoughtfulness, that extra effort to get it right.
Let's do one more.
That made Burnsy such a joy to work with. Such a joy to be with.
I wanted to be spicy mustard.
Matt Kenseth, I'm doing something very important right here.
This guy. He's my special boy.
If he disagreed with what you thought was the way to do it, you had best take heed.
Now, just cue the animation.
His sense of how things fit together, his thoughtfulness about ramifications down the road, always made his voice important.
Some media did make the decision to camp out and try and shoot video of the service. However, out of respect for the family in their time of grief, we did not.
He was never mean, nor snide, nor sneaky. Just said his piece directly.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
It was always sincere, thoughtful. Steve thought a lot of his work and had belief in what he did. He always wanted what he worked on to add understanding to any story, any interview, whatever he was involved in.
Up next on NASCAR Race, how will we get you set for this weekend?
Steve Burns' work was good. No, not just good, damn good. He wrote well, he asked good questions, he had a warmth and charm that came through in the way he wrote and spoke.
What you choose to do with that time is entirely up to you.
No nonsense. Motorsports was fortunate to have a Steve Burns. His life work for me could always be defined in something Richard Petty framed years ago when Richard was asked how he wished to be remembered. And the King said, "I had a job that I liked very much, and hopefully people thought I did it pretty well." Indeed, Steve Burns did, and became a measure for us all.
to accept on Steve's behalf, please welcome his son, Bryson Burns.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank NASCAR, the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and the voting committee for presenting my dad, Steve Burns, with the Squirrel Hall Award for NASCAR Media Excellence. My dad attended his first NASCAR race at Darlington Raceway in the early 1980s as a reporter for a local TV station in Charleston, South Carolina. That Southern 500 was the start of a 30-year passion my dad had for his work and for the sport of NASCAR. In 1985, my dad got the awesome opportunity to become part of the NASCAR family as the host of Inside Winston Cup Racing. I'm personally thankful that during Speed Weeks in 1989, he met and eventually fell in love with my mom. And if you couldn't put two and two together, without them, I wouldn't be here, so. In the 1990s, he also did NASCAR broadcasts for CBS, WTBS, and the History Channel. My dad's dream job came in 2001 when Fox Sports hired him to be a pit road reporter and a host of a daily studio show. My dad cherished his 14 years with Fox Sports because they gave him the opportunity to work in many different roles on many different broadcasts. My dad loved the fans and the people that worked in the motorsports industry and even called them our NASCAR family. After all the support I have received while my dad was sick and after he died, I now understand exactly what he meant. My daddy was a wonderful man. I think about him every day, and I love him very much. I now understand how important he was to the NASCAR community, and I'd like to thank you for remembering him.
You got a future, kid. Here to present Bryson with his father's commemorative medal, please welcome NASCAR Vice Chairman Mike Helton.
Congratulations, Bryson and Karen. Daryl and I are standing back there with a tear in our eye. And I want to thank Eric Shanks, the president of Fox Sports, for being with us here today to help honor the memory of a friend and colleague that we miss every day.